away from the envious, stays away from the envious people, and he gives association to innocent people. Then Uttama Adhikari is the one who have complete faith on the Lord, and he can convince any type of, he doesn't discriminate like who is innocent. He can give association to anyone who has complete faith. So Uttama Adhikari. So Nindadi Shunya Hrudamipsita Sanga Labdva. So that we were discussing all these things till we discussed the definition of the Kanishta Bhakta in 11th canto. This is clearly described. Archayam eva harate pujam ya shraddhayi hate natad bhakteshu chanyeshu sa bhakta prakruta smrita. A person who is very faithfully engaged in worship of deity in temple, but who does not know how to behave toward devotees or people in general, is called prakruta bhakta or kanishta bhakta. So this is very important. Kanishta Bhakta. Then Madhyama Bhakta. Ishwaretat Adineshu Balisheshu Dishatsuya Prema Maitri Kripa Upeksha. Prema Maitri Kripa Upeksha. 3 types of dealings. Ya Karoti Sa Madhyama. So preacher, one has to preach means he has to become Madhyamadhikari. He has to discriminate. Who is, if envious people, you have to look from them. But for innocent people, we have to give them association. Envious means those who doesn't take association, those who not take practical guidance. So Madhyamadhikari is a devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the highest object of love, makes friends with the Lord's devotees, is merciful to the ignorant, makes friends with the Lord's devotees, prema and maitri, and kripa for innocent, is merciful to the ignorant, and upeksha, avoids those who are envious by nature. This is the sign of Madhyamadhikari. So this is a way to cultivate devotional service properly. Association of devotees is the very, very important for devotees. There is, therefore, Rupa Goswami advises us how to treat various devotees. This is advanced science, not just understanding Krishna. Everybody knows Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead in ISKCON, but many people fails in dealing with devotees. So we have to, this is advanced science of bhakti, means how to deal with devotees. Devotees are very important. Bhakti is given by devotees. So we can see from practical experience there is a different types of Vaishnavas. Prakrita Sahajiyas. Sahajiyas means, Prakrita Sahajiya means generally chant Hare Krishna mantra, yet they are attached to woman, money and intoxication. So because they are not yet properly purified, so such people should be respected within one mind, but their association should be avoided. But those who are innocent but simply carried away by bad association should be shown favor if they are eager to receive proper instructions from pure devotees. This is very important. Right? We must be able to take instructions from pure devotees. But those neophyte devotees who are actually initiated by bona fide spiritual masters are seriously engaged in carrying out the order of spiritual, but should be offered respectful obeisances. Diksha. Diksha is very important because surrender to the spiritual master. Those who, जैसा वाइफ होती है, कोई स्त्री शादी होता है तो मंगलसूत्र होते हैं, She should not look at any another man. Similarly, those who got Diksha should be very dedicated for his spiritual master service. Diksha is very important thing. In this Krishna consciousness movement, a chance is given to everyone without discrimination of caste, creed, or color. Everyone is invited to this movement. Sit with us, take prasad, and hear about Krishna. When we see that someone is actually interested in Krishna consciousness, want to be initiated, we accept him as a disciple for chanting the holy name of the Lord. Only serious devotees should be given initiation. When a neophyte devotee is actually initiated and engaged in devotional service by the order of a spiritual master, he should be accepted immediately as a bona fide Vaishnava, and obeisances should be offered unto him. Dikshasti chat pranatibhi. Out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in service of the Lord and strictly following the regulative principles. Out of such initiated devotees also, one is very serious in practicing bhakti, not material life. Chanting rounds on beads, always thinking of how to expand Krishna consciousness movement. Such a Vaishnava should be accepted as Uttama Adhikari, a highly advanced devotee, and his association should always be sought. Ninda Dishunya Hridamipsita Sangha Labhya. The process of what is a Chaitanya Charitamrita, what Krishna says, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan. Sei Kale Krishna Tare Kare Atmasam. When devotee fully surrenders at the time of initiation, service to the Lord, Krishna accepts him to be as good as he himself. So, Diksha or spiritual initiation is explained in Bhakti Sandarbha by Jiva Goswami. So, Divyam Jnanam Yato Dhadyat Kuryat Papasya Sankshayam Tasmad Dikshiti Sa Prokta Deshikais Tattva Kovidai. By Diksha, one gradually becomes disinterested in material enjoyment and gradually becomes interested in spiritual life. This is the definition of Diksha. In his way, spiritual initiation means Jiva Goswami is writing that one should get disinterested in material enjoyment and gradually becomes interested in spiritual life. Spiritual life should be expanded, not material life. So here, European and American, whoever he may be, many students who come to us from rich and respectable families quickly lose interest in material enjoyment and become very eager to enter into the spiritual life. Even Americans, Europeans, they are losing interest in material enjoyment. So this is a sign. Jiva Goswami wrote, disinterested in material enjoyment and gradually becomes interested in spiritual life. Although they came from very rich family, wealthy families, many of them accept living conditions that are not comfortable. Indeed, Krishna's sake, they prepare to accept any living condition as long as they can live in the temple and associate with Vaishnavas. When one becomes so disinterested in material enjoyment, he becomes fit for the initiation by spiritual master. For the advancement of spiritual life, Srimad Bhagavatam prescribes tapasya brahmacharyena samedijaminicha. So, one should get disinterested in material enjoyment, not interested. When a person is serious about accepting Diksha, he must be prepared to practice austerity, celibacy, and control of mind and body. If one is prepared to be serious of receiving spiritual enlightenment, Divyam Jnanam is fit to be initiated. No? Divyam Jnanam is a Tadvijnana, about knowledge of the Supreme. One should be eager to understands spiritual knowledge, not material knowledge, then only he should approach Guru. Tad vijnanartam saurameva abhigachit. One who is interested in the transcendental subject matter of the absolute truth, he should be initiated. Such a person should be approach a spiritual master in order to take diksha. Diksha means not just no somebody who has taken diksha but not interested in material, not interested in spiritual life. He's not actually got diksha. No, he's very much interested in spiritual life. How to advance? Then he should approach spiritual master. When one is actually interested in spiritual transcendental science of absolute, he should approach Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jignasu Shreya Uttamam. Prabhupada quotes all these things. Very nice. No? So, one should not accept a spiritual master without following his instructions. Nor should one accept a spiritual master just to make a fashionable show of spiritual life. या मेरा दीक्षा हो गया लेकिन नियम पालन नहीं करेंगे क्या करेंगे सच पीपल और जस्ट अभी दीक्षा हो गया बस सब कुछ हो गया और गुरु के पास नहीं जाएंगे किसके पास नहीं जाएंगे सो यू कैनॉट चीट कृष्णा कृष्णा विल चीट अस ऑल्सो nor should one accept a fashionable show of spiritual life. One must be a jignasu, very much inquisitive to learn from bona fide spiritual master. The inquiries one makes should means the darkness of this material world. Ut, uttama. Ut means transcendental. Generally, people are very interested in inquiring about mundane subject matters. But when one has to but when one has lost such interest and is simply interested in transcendental subject matters, he is quite fit to be initiated. Is actually when one is actually initiated by a bona fide spiritual master, when he seriously engages in service of the Lord, he should be accepted as a madhyamadhikari. So we all read this till here. So this is very important. So just I am repeating these things. The chanting of the holy names of Krishna is so sublime that if one chants Hare Krishna mantra offenselessly, carefully avoiding 10 offenses, he can certainly be gradually elevated to the point of understanding. There is no difference between holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself. And who has reached such an understanding should be very much respected by neophyte devotees. One more sign, how to respect devotees. Those who understood that there is no difference between the holy name and the Lord. No, this is one more stage of no, Madhyama Adhikari, that holy name and Lord is non-different. So neophyte devotees should respect, not by just having number dhanam janam sundari. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundari. No? So one should know for certain that without chanting the holy name of Lord offenselessly, one cannot be a proper candidate for advancement in Krishna consciousness. Every day we recite 10 offenses, 11 offenses. And no, that's why if you don't understand the still seriousness of these offenses, it is very danger. बहु जन्म करे यदि श्रवण कीर्तन तबु न पाइबे यदि कृष्ण प्रेम धन. अपराध करते रहेंगे, करोड़ करोड़ जन्म जप करते रहेंगे, कोई तभी भगवान को प्राप्त नहीं कर पाएंगे. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Yahara Komala Shraddha Seka Nishta Jana Krame Krame Te Noja Bhakta Aibe Uttama. One whose faith is lost and pure. Can somebody read this?
Hare Krishna.
Hmm.
One whose
Yes.
faith is soft and pliable is called a neophyte. But by gradually following the process, he will rise to the platform of first class devotee. Everyone begins his devotional life from the neophyte stage, but if one properly finishes chanting the prescribed number of rounds of Harinam, is elevated step by step to the highest platform, Uttam Adhikari. The Krishna Consciousness movement prescribes 16 rounds daily because people in Western countries cannot concentrate for long periods while chanting on beats. Therefore, the minimum number of rounds is prescribed. However, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that unless one chants at least 64 rounds of japa, 100,000 names, he is considered fallen, patit. According to his calculation, practically every one of us is fallen, but because we are trying to serve the Supreme Lord with all seriousness and without duplicity, we can expect the mercy of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is famous as Patit Pavan, the deliverer of the fallen.
Oh, if somebody is chanting 16 rounds by the order of Srila Prabhupada, but without duplicate, this is very important. With all seriousness, no duplicity. We have to express all our problems and take proper guidance. Then only we can expect mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is a Patita Pavana. He is not a Kapata Pavana. If we are not able to chant holy names, and if we are having some offensive tendencies, we should immediately take guidance. Otherwise, it is very difficult to advance. Then Satyaraj Khan, a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, asked how a Vaishnava should be recognized. The Lord replied, प्रभु कहे यान रमु के सुनिए के बार कृष्ण नाम से पूज्य श्रेष्ठ सभा सभा करो. If one hears a person, if one hears a person say even once the word Krishna, that person should be accepted as the best man out of the common group. But it's a, एक बार तो सब लोग बोलते हैं, but with faith also. Once I was hearing Yashoda, just what is that one name chanting? Just Yashoda, she calls Krishna. Krishna! Immediately she gets tears from her eyes and milk from her breast. And that one holy name has a lot of that one single name. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. अतएव यांड्रमुखे एक कृष्ण नाम सेत वैष्णव करिह तांड्र सम्मान. One who is interested in chanting the holy name of Krishna or by practice likes to chant Krishna's name should be accepted as a Vaishnava and offered respects as such, at least within one's mind. So, those who have interest to chant holy names, one should be respected, at least in the mind. So one famous English musician has become attracted to chanting of the holy names of Krishna. Even in his records, he has several times mentioned the holy name of Krishna. George Harrison, I think. At his home, he offers respect to preachers of Krishna and also to the preachers of Krishna consciousness. In all regards, he has very high estimation of Krishna's name and Krishna's activities. So George Harrison was breaking 4 eggs also. But that time, when he heard about Prabhupada tune, he heard for hours and hours. and he got cleanly purified. Therefore, we offer respect to him without reservation. For we are actually seeing that the gentleman is advancing gradually in Krishna consciousness. Such a person should always be shown respect. The conclusion is that, you know, can somebody read this conclusion?
Aditya, you can continue.
Thank you, bro. The conclusion is that anyone who is trying to advance in Krishna consciousness by regularly chanting the holy name should always be respected by Vaishnavas. On the other hand, we have witnessed that some of our contemporaries who are supposed to be great preachers have gradually fallen into the material conception of life because they have failed to chant the holy name of the Lord.
So, those who don't have faith on holy name, if they stop, then they will fall down. So, preaching, making others also chant Hare Krishna mantra is also very important. Chanting, based on chanting. Somebody who is chanting, but who is a materialist, who has more money, more facilities, how to respect such people? When we go and meet big people, so we have to respect devotees. But even people should know that in public, how much we respect devotees. Public sometimes, in office or somewhere business times, we respect materialistic people. No. But we should, having dealing with money things with devotees is very dangerous. Should be under proper guidance. So Sanatana Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided devotional service into 3 categories. शास्त्र युक्ति नहीं जाने दृढ़ श्रद्धावान मध्यमाधिकारी से ही महाभाग्य भाग्यवान. A person whose conclusive knowledge of the Shastras is not very strong. What is the conclusion of Shastras? He is not have that strong faith on that conclusion of the Shastra, conclusive knowledge of the Shastra. What is the conclusion of Shastra? To make people chant holy name. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Hello, Nastyo, 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 Gatirinad. And people don't have that such faith. He's not very strong, but he has developed firm faith in chanting Hare Krishna mantra, who is also undeterred in execution of his prescribed devotional service, should be considered as Madhyamadhikari. So, such a person is very fortunate. Madhyamadhikari, a staunchly faithful person, and he is actually candidate for further advancement in devotional service. So, he is advancing, Madhyamadhikari. But he doesn't have conclusive knowledge of the Shastras in a very strong. But he has taste to chant holy name and is trying to advance. So, Madhyamadhikari. Who is telling? Sanatana Goswami is telling. Sorry, while Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling to Sanatana Goswami. So, Mahaprabhu said first, who even once chanting holy name is a Vaishnava. Then, he has gradual taste in chanting holy names. He is a Vaishnava. Then, the Madhyamadhikari is telling, no? A person whose conclusive knowledge of Shastras is not very strong but has developed firm faith in chanting Hare Krishna mantra is a Madhyamadhikari. One becomes a qualified devotee on a elementary platform, the intermediate platform, and the highest platform of devotional service according to the development of Shraddha. How Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttamadhikari are defined? Based on Shraddha, according to development of Shraddha. श्रद्धा शब्दे विश्वास गए सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्ण भक्ति कहले सर्व कर्म कृत है। So we should discriminate devotees based on Shraddha on Krishna consciousness. For entering service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. There is confident, firm faith. One who performs Krishna's service, he can fulfill all other things. The confident, firm faith favorable to the discharge of devotional service is called Shraddha. This is how Shraddha comes, by associating with faithful devotee who has faith. Shraddha, faith in Krishna, is beginning of Krishna consciousness. Faith means strong faith. Faith means strong faith, not light faith. So the words of Bhagavad Gita are authoritative instructions for faithful men. Whatever Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita is to be accepted as it is, without interpretation. This was the way Arjuna accepted. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna told, Sarvami tadritam manni yanmam vadasi Kesava. Whatever you have told, I will accept as a truth, ultimate truth. You should not think, oh, Bhagavad Gita is not so practical. On the name of practicalness, people are shooting words of Krishna. This is a correct way of understanding Bhagavad Gita. This is called Shraddha. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha. If you don't have Shraddha, but association of devotees will not give you much, much positivity. So, first of all, what we have to acquire is Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha. Then what sadhu will engage you in bhakti. It is not that one accepts a portion of Bhagavad Gita according to his own whimsical interpretations and rejects another portion. This is not Shraddha. Shraddha means accepting instructions of Bhagavad Gita in their totality. Especially last instruction, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Bhaja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. So, one should not accept portion. So like somebody may accept Bhakti Yoga, but not Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. What will happen? If we accept Bhakti Yoga but not accept Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, what will happen? So we cannot force everyone to one level. Those who are on whatever level they are, we have to engage them in that particular level. We should not disturb their mind interest. Even though we want to make them devotees, Bhakti Yoga, but we have to see what tendencies are there, Karma, Jnana, Yoga, and slowly we have to rise them. Not abruptly. We should not reject what Krishna said. When one fully engages in chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, he gradually realizes that his own spiritual identity. Unless one faithfully chants Hare Krishna mantra, Krishna does not reveal himself. One should chant seriously. Otherwise, Krishna will not reveal. No, one student in one voice, he was telling, Hare, chant 4 rounds and chant 4 rounds until 16 rounds are over. You may cheat devotees, but you cannot cheat Krishna. That will come out one day. So Sevan Mukesh Juvado Swam Yospritya. We cannot realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead by any artificial means. We must engage faithfully in serving of the Lord. Such service begins with the tongue. Sevon Mukesh Jivado. First service, the most important service. Sevon Mukesh Jivado. One should chant holy name with the tongue. which means that we should always chant the holy name of the Lord and accept Krishna Prasad. We should not chant or accept anything else. Chanting means we should chant and accept only Krishna Prasad. When this process is followed faithfully, Supreme Lord reveals himself to that devotee. You can see, no? Like 1 year, new devotee comes inside the center, voice, from first year to second year. In second year to third year, entire second year, how he develops. He gets association of devotees, he chants holy name, he gets Krishna Prasad. Bas, within 1 year, you can see, he will become pure devotee. Huh? Such is the powerful association. We should have faith. Somebody may not be getting that benefit because there must be something mistake he must be doing. Either he must be eating outside, or he may not have association of devotees, or something. Hmm. So we read these 2 paragraphs. Okay. Okay. Somebody can read this.
Share, Prabhu.
Mridul Pro.
When a person realizes himself to be an eternal servitor of Krishna, he loses interest in everything but Krishna's service. Always thinking of Krishna, devising means by which to spread the holy name of Krishna. He understands that his only business is spreading the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. Such a person is to be recognized as Uttamadhikari, and his association should be immediately accepted according to 6 processes, Dadati, Pratignati, etc. Indeed, the advanced Uttamadhikari Vaishnava devotee should be accepted as spiritual master. Everything one possesses should be offered to him. For it is enjoined that one should deliver whatever he has to the spiritual master. The brahmachari in particular is supposed to beg alms from others and offer them to spiritual master. However, one should not imitate the behavior of advanced devotee or Mahabhagavad without being self-realized. Um, for by such imitation, one will eventually becomes degraded.
Hmm. So these are all the rules and regulations giving by the scriptures. So those who are properly following and want to spread this holy name of Krishna, one should offer everything to him. And we should consider him as a spiritual master. So, for advancement in Krishna consciousness, not for any other things. No? Okay, this one also you can read.
In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advises the devotee to be intelligent enough to distinguish between Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. The devotee should also know his own position and should not try to imitate devotees situated in higher platform. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur has given some practical hints to the effect that an Uttama Adhikari Vaishnava can be recognized by his ability to convert many fallen souls to Vaishnavism. One should not become a spiritual master unless he has attained the platform of Uttamadhikari. A neophyte Vaishnava or Vaishnava situated in an intermediate platform can also accept disciple, but such disciple must be on same platform, and it should be understood that they cannot advance very well towards the ultimate goal of life under his insufficient guidance. Therefore, a disciple should be careful to accept Uttamadhikari as spiritual master.
Madhyamadhikari also can make disciples. But no, so both it should be on same level. but they must be under Uttamadhikari. So one should know in Krishna consciousness there should be discrimination between Vaishnavas. This is a conclusion. You cannot make all devotees, हाँ प्रभु सब भक्त है, सबको प्रणाम करेंगे, सब एक ही है. Especially those who are, we respect to the only materialistic positions or materialist, the material things we respect. किसी के पास बच्चा गाड़ी है, बंगला है, न? So that is not the qualification. Qualification is to have how much is dedicated for his spiritual master. No? How much he is eager to assist his spiritual master in preaching. No? So that we have to be Rupa Goswami said, this is advanced knowledge. After envoy also, if somebody tells, so everybody is same, then what is the use? We should not be less intelligent. We should always discriminate. Rupa Goswami is advising devotees to be intelligent enough to discriminate between Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari and Uttamadhikari. And one should know one's own position. One should not try to imitate. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is Shreyan Swadharmo Viguna Paradharma Swanishtitha. Paradharma Bhayava. The Paradharma is very dangerous. One should not do Paradharma. Even if it is failure, one should accept one's own dharma. No? So for the sake of respect or anything, one should not imitate. Now we will hear about the glories of pure devotee. Who is that pure devotee? And how we need to respect that pure devotee. Drishtay swabhavajanitay vapusascha doshe. Can recite?
दृष्टे स्वभावजनितैर्वपुषश्च दोषैर्
न प्राकृतत्वमिह भक्तजनस्य पश्येत्
अप्राकृतत्वमिह भक्तजनस्य पश्येत्
गङ्गाम्बसां न खलु बुद्बुदपेन पङ्केर्
गङ्गाम्भसां न खलु बुद्बुदफेन पङ्कैर्
ब्रह्मा द्रवत्वमपगच्छति नीरधर्मे
ब्रह्माद्रवत्वमपगच्छति नीरधर्मैः
Drishte means by ordinary vision, Swabhava Janite, born of one's own nature, Vapu means Vapusha, body, Cha and Doshe by faults, not Prakrutatvam, the state of being material. Iha, in this world, Bhakta Janasya, a pure devotee, Pashet, one should see Gangambusam of the Ganges waters, Na khalo, not khalo, certainly, Budbuda fena panke, the bubbles, foam and mud. Brahma dravatvam, the transcendental nature, apagachati is spoiled, nira dharme, the characteristics of water. So he is telling, do not drushte swabhava janite vapusascha doshe. You should not see faults of the pure devotees' bodies. Even if the pure devotee's body is having material problems like disease or anything, one should not see those things. No? So it is like a Ganga ambusam. Ganga ka pani may be, budbuda, phena, panka, foam, muddy, some even dirty things may be there. One should not think it is impure. We can still take that water, this water is transcendental to material, material impurity. So one should always treat devotees spiritually, not by seeing more on the materialistic platform. Being situated in his original Krishna consciousness position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from the materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee as having a body born in a low family, a body with a bad complexion. Prabhupada is giving even more nicely. Body born in low family, body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, or diseased or infirm body. If pure devotee has disease or infirm body, according to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee. No? This is imperfection. This is ordinary vision, materialistic vision of a pure devotee. Not ordinary, this is not spiritual vision. But despite such seeming defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly that like the waters of the Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam, and mud. The Ganges waters do not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in Ganges without considering the condition of water. Pure devotee का ये सब नहीं देखना है. ये लो caste का है, ये foreigner है ना, ये तो SC ST का है. हाँ, ये तो कभी कभी स्त्री है, ये स्त्री गुरु बन गया है. ऐसा नहीं देखना है. गुरु इज वन हु हैज फेथ ऑन कृष्णा. Anyone he may be. Even animal also can become good. If it is proper Krishna consciousness. You know, pure devotee. Somebody has Krishna consciousness symptoms, pure Krishna consciousness, then you should not see low family. ये तो मैं तो ब्राह्मण का परिवार में हूँ, ये तो शूद्र के परिवार में है, मैं कैसे दीक्षा लूँ. ऐसा नहीं सोचना है. Pure devotee can be born in low families, body with bad complexion. Once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing and so much, and from the mouth foam was coming, and from the nose that liquid was coming. One should not consider, hey, this is it. It is a pure devotee, pure body, transcendental body symptoms. So one should know what is Krishna consciousness, not just seeing pure devotee in a very good condition. Pure devotee's body may be low born, maybe bad complexion, maybe deformed body, or diseased or infirm body. But still one should respect it as a transcendental. One should take his association properly. No? So, the body, the defects, such defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is like an example, like a Ganga water in the rainy season. No? So, Shuddha Bhakti, activity of a soul proper, in other words, engagement in transcendental loving service of the Lord, is performed in liberated condition. So, Shuddha Bhakti is can be engaged in a, performed in a, liberated condition. Mam chayo avyabhichare na bhakti yoge na sevate sagunan samati tetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. अव्यभिचारी भक्ति, व्यभिचारी भक्ति नहीं, इधर उधर, having faith on other things also. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Avyabhichari bhakti means unalloyed devotion. Can somebody read this?
जय प्रभु अक्षय तीर्थ प्रभु.
Avyabhicharini bhakti means unalloyed devotion. A person engaged in devotional service must be free from material motives. In this Krishna consciousness movement, one's consciousness must be changed. If consciousness is aimed towards material enjoyment, it is material consciousness. And if it is aimed towards serving Krishna, it is Krishna consciousness. Surrender soul serves Krishna without material considerations. Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 1.1.11. Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. Unalloyed devotional service, which is transcendental to the activities of the body and mind, such as jnana, mental speculation, and karma, fruitive work, is called pure bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is the proper activity of the soul, and when one actually engages in unalloyed, uncontaminated devotional service, he is already liberated. Sagunam samatiyaitam. Bhagavad Gita 14.26. Krishna's devotee is not subjected to material condition, even though his bodily feature may appear materially conditioned. One should therefore not see pure devotee from a materialistic point of view. Unless one is actually a devotee, he cannot see another devotee perfectly. As explained in the previous verse, there are three types of devotees: Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, and Uttam Adhikari. Kanishta Adhikari cannot distinguish between a devotee and non-devotee. He is simply concerned and with worshipping the deity in the temple. A Madhyam Adhikari, however, can distinguish between the devotee and non-devotee as well as between the devotee and the Lord. Thus, he treats the Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, the devotee and the non-devotee in a different ways.
So, to no, only devotee can understand a devotee. No? So, how to understand devotee is very important. No? Unless one is actually devotee, he cannot see another devotee perfectly. You know? So, when a devotee only can see other devotees properly. Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. A school, when school devotees, children are going to the school, not everybody is sitting in one class. You know, outsiders may think, "Ah, everybody is equal." One should have a proper discrimination between devotees. Those who can know, I know Krishna properly, but no, I don't like to be seeing devotees. Oh, we have to know the science, how to see devotees, how to respect devotees, whom to be respected. No? Then only he's an educated devotee. So, no one should criticize bodily defects of a pure devotee. If there are such defects, they should be overlooked. What should be taken into account in spiritual masters' main business, which is devotional service, pure service to the Supreme Lord. One should not see disease of the body of a pure devotee. Apichetsu duracharo bhajati mamananyavag sadhurev samantavya samyak vavasto hisa. Even if a devotee sometimes seems to be engaged in abominable activities, he should be considered a sadhu, saintly person, because his actual identity is that one engaged in loving service of the Lord. In other words, he is not to be considered an ordinary human being. Even if he does sudurachar, sometimes he, no, by mistake he has done some blunder. But he loves Krishna. Still one should consider a sadhu. If you disrespect a devotee, your bhakti will be lost. No. So we'll read this and conclude today. Can somebody read?
Continue. Sorry.
Even though a pure devotee may not be born in a Brahmana or a Goswami family, if he is engaged in the service of the Lord, he should not be neglected. In actuality, there cannot be a family of Goswamis based on a material consideration, caste, or heredity. Goswami's title is actually the monopoly of the pure devotees. Thus, we speak of the six Goswamis headed by Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami had practically become Muhammadans and had therefore changed their names to Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself made them Goswamis. Therefore, Goswami title is not hereditary. The word Goswami refers to one who can control his senses, who is a master of the senses. A devotee is not controlled by the senses, but is the controller of the senses. Consequently, he should be called Swami or Goswami, even though he may not be born in the Goswami family.
So one should not see external casteism for the Vaishnavas or European American bodies and all. So one should no, no oversee those things, those who have faith on Krishna. Okay. So thank you very much. And we'll see. I'll just communicate about tomorrow's class in the maybe afternoon like that. Huh? I'll call you.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions? We so try to by heart these verses, these two especially, 5 and 6. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So, today I think Mandarpur has question.
Tomorrow
Mandarpur.
can we continue? Tomorrow.
Okay, okay, Prabhu. No. Okay, sure.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. End of the